recording. I get the easy job. That doesn't always happen. All right. Sorry, we were just visiting about Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. I just can't wait. I'm counting the days. Like, they have so many cool 12-foot skeleton things now. Like, they have a 6-foot donkey skeleton. And I think that would look so cool by my 12-foot skeleton. So anyway, I'm trying to hold back. My husband's like, we don't need a donkey. Like, we'll need more sheds. I'm like, who doesn't need a donkey?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh, they have a whole, like, we have a new Tractor Supply, which is kind of funny. We're in Las Vegas. Like, I can't believe they're having a grand opening while I'm gone, and Clint's rubbing it in my face. But anyway, they're supposed to have a whole bunch of skeleton animals there. So we'll see if he buys me any of them.
I'm on call, so Mom.
Okay.
Sorry,
Anyway,
it's my
we better
birthday.
get to work. We only have an hour, so I am going to deny that.
All right, show me as I'm listening.
Here. And we are going to talk about StreetText CRM. Like, this is CRM month, you know, and I'm talking about all my favorite CRMs. And the thing is that most people think that StreetText is just a lead gen platform, which is a very amazing one. It is, but it also has a little CRM to it. So if you didn't have a CRM, you could literally use it. Like, there's all different kinds of things that I'm going to go over. So I'm going to just share my screen and stop jabbering. I had some really good coffee this morning. So thank you, Marcus. Okay, so everybody can see my screen? Yes? Okay, so we just closed out of it. Well, that's how good it is. Like, I'm just on a roll today. Okay, so I'm going to show you how easy this is. So if you go to the dashboard, this is a really cool place to figure out your new leads, right? So you could click on that. It'll bring up all your new leads in case you want to follow up. It'll tell you, you know, how many ad views you've had, how many people open their emails, how many text messages went out. So you can either scroll through there and do the things, or you can go into your contacts, which I like this part. So if you go into your contacts and you select, let's see, I have a lot, so it might take like 10 minutes. If you do like deal stage is past clients. So look, I can find all my past clients in like, what was that? 10 seconds. So you can go in here. There's information right here. You can update their stuff here. You can click on this right here and go and put your notes in and all your good stuff. And it'll tell you like where they came from, what ad they clicked on, like all the things. So see, this is where they came in, and there's all these cool things. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I don't use StreetText as a CRM, but you could because you do. Look, see, here's a little note section, right? You can turn on and off an automation. And so if you build your automations good, like say you do a what's my home really worth, and you have a 9-month funnel attached, you can actually create that even longer if you want, as long as you possibly want, you know. And so then they'll continue to get emails and text messages from you. So you can kind of go through here and see the submissions, the deals, timeline, conversation. Oh, we didn't have any conversations through here, but you can have conversations through here. If you click on my conversations here, these are everybody I'm chatting with. So that's kind of cool, right? So anyway, but you could search any type of contacts that you want to get them all in one place. You can create audiences right here for your retargeting ads, all that good stuff. So anyway, that is what I have for StreetText CRM. I know, class is over, 5 minutes. I'm just kidding. I brought Steven in. He's gonna dive deeper into how you can use this, how you can like make this your very best friend. So Stephen, you are up. I'm going to stop sharing and you could share what you want with everybody.
Sure. And thank you, Wendy. So, and I appreciate you showing all of the CRM functionality. StreetTecht's mission isn't to be a CRM though. So I just want to make sure that for everybody that's like watching, you're like, you're thinking to yourself, oh, I wish it did this, or I wish it did that. We will add some more functionality, and you can definitely use it as CRM, and I'll deep dive into some of that. But obviously our strength is really on the ad side. I mean, that's really where we focus our development energy and our product side. And the CRM is more of a byproduct for us, just to make sure that you can manage everything that you need to. And so if you've got more feature requests and things that you'd like to see there, please put them in, but they'll always be a little bit lower below all of the the other requests that we have in regards to like the ad side. So we obviously play really nice with other CRMs, specifically obviously FollowUp Boss and some others, but yeah, just want to make sure that's clear. So that's clear. So, but I will show you what we can do, because for many of you, these will be little like Easter eggs, if you would, like hidden away in the product that you might not even have known that you could do. So I'll just share my screen here, and then we'll go through some of those. So you can all see my screen here.
Yep.
I'm just in a demo account, and Wendy already showed you that you can do all of this different filtering. And what's neat about the filtering is that you can obviously create filters for lists on the side. So I only have one lead in here right now, and I have a whole lot of filters because this is just a demo account. But what you can do though is that when for instance, maybe I want to create a list of people that have, and you can do a combination of these that have certain tags, or maybe they're in a certain deal stage, or they're in a particular automation of mine, or whatever it may be, or maybe they've returned, or they have a certain interaction score, right? Like any combination of these, when you select them and you create this filter, and then so if I was, for instance, just doing like, let's just say tag is, I'll just say this for now. I won't have anybody, so I'm not going to do it. But if I click, say, show results, I'm only going to see the results of that filter, and I can save the filter. So what's nice about that is that it then creates the smart list essentially on the left-hand side, so that if you ever click on that, it'll always load just the context that fit that filter in the future. So that's a great way to keep if you got a lot of context like Wendy does, and you want to stay super organized, you can always just click these, and it'll just show you those. But they're smart lists, so that they're similar to, like, for instance, FollowUp Boss, where when people hit those rules, they'll automatically go into that filter. And if people leave those rules, they'll automatically leave that filter. And so it is a great way just to keep your context more organized. In addition to that, one of the unique things that we do with it is if I was clicking Save Filter, I could create this then also as a Facebook audience. And as Wendy mentioned, that's a little bit of a side benefit as well, where, so if I was naming this one, let's just say I was calling it, actually I'll just call it seller leads, for example. These are all my seller leads. If I click Save as New, I'm saving the filter, but because I selected this, I'm also going to be keeping this data in sync with Facebook. And so when you're running ads in the future, either on StreetText or off of StreetText, and you're wanting to use that custom, you want to make sure you're only targeting your seller leads, like the custom audience in Facebook, StreetText will keep that in sync for you. So that's a huge benefit on the.
That is actually really huge, because we use it for luxury, right? You all know I'm like trying to hone in on luxury. So we grabbed the 10 luxury neighborhoods that we're targeting. We uploaded them into Mojo, which syncs to FollowUp Boss, which syncs to StreetText, right? So they all have a tag luxury, the stages luxury, the sources expired luxury, whatever it is, you can go and click on that, create a luxury, right? And then make it an audience. And then you can retarget your luxury videos right in front of them. So you could like literally talk to the same people or to different people in a different way. Like I could be running my Jeep ads, rock crawling all over, I could be running my Harley in front of my Harley people, you know what I mean? So like you can literally talk to specific people through an audience. So that is cool.
Agreed. It really is the power of segmenting down your list so you warm them up with the right content. Totally agree. So a couple more things you can do here too is you can add a lead. So if I wanted to, add a lead here, I could do that. I can also import a CSV. So if you are bringing leads over from some other place and you just want to keep them organized in StreetText or keep them in sync, you can import that CSV as well. If I do click this, I'll let you know one thing though. This is a very important checkbox. So what this essentially means is that if you have permission, so let's assume I've uploaded my list here. If I have permission to contact all those people, I would select this checkbox. But you got to make sure that you do. Like don't do it if you don't have it, and I'll show you a workaround in a second. But so if you did have that permission to contact, and you add them and you click next, you actually can now you can text them through our system, you can email them through our system, all that good stuff. But what a lot of people do is if they're bringing in a list that they don't have permission to contact, this is also powerful because you can unselect it. You won't have that ability to message them initially, but you can still, just like Wendy does, you can still put them in all these different audiences. You can segment out the list. You can run ads to them in the future. And then as soon as they engage with one of your ads, they will then self-subscribe to your to StreetText. And so now you'll be able to communicate with them. You'll have that permission. And so this is actually a really powerful way. People often will bring in leads that they don't have permission to contact. They'll leave this unchecked. But then as they're running ads, a percentage of that list is constantly sort of essentially opting in. And so now you can reach out to them. So that's a great way of, creating a targeted list and then using it for ads and then eventually communicating with them in your CRM. So there's that.
Yeah, so you don't have to have FollowUp Boss to have this. So like if you have like KB Core and you want to export your leads, you can literally export them on a CSV and put them into FollowUp Boss. And that's how you create your audience for your CRM. So thank you for going over that because people ask me about it all the time and I'm like, I don't know, just get FollowUp Boss.
I mean, and FollowUp Boss is a far superior CRM, all in all. But so these are just the little hidden features that are inside the platform.
So I put a comment. Maybe I should have put a question. Is it okay to interrupt?
Sure, go ahead.
So it sounds like I have a bunch of unsubscribed, maybe because I grabbed all the people from LinkedIn that I didn't have permission to, and I put them into some of my I think MailChimp, and then some of those people unsubscribed. Well, maybe they didn't want that specific content, but they do know who I am. And I would be nice if they saw some of my advertisements other than just in LinkedIn. So then if I can take those unsubscribed people and put them in, as you say, Stephen, into this, just not checking that box, then when they do self-select, then they will go into my full onslaught of
that's a great idea. Yeah, you can definitely pull them in and show them the ads, and then again, as soon as they re-engage, and we have a whole lot of remarketing content that's designed to get people to re-engage too, or maybe you're creating your own, or if you follow Wendy, she's got a ton of stuff on that. And as soon as that unsubscribe engages in any way, shape, or form, they're going to opt in, and it's cool because you'll actually see that they were previously in the unsubscribe, and now they're re-engaged. So you'll see them as a return.
Yeah, you can see who returns and who. Yeah, I like that too.
And I want to jump in on that one because I used to think that when people unsubscribe, they're just not interested. But I think that's not the case. There's some people that just don't want emails from you. I mean, they just don't want emails or whatever, and they will unsubscribe. But that doesn't mean that they're not interested. So then the retargeting thing is key. So I love that idea. And in fact, if you had something like how Wendy's setting up an audience like this, if you could get really creative between Zapier and your email system, and when they do unsubscribe, you could be really creative and then have it automatically go into a list like that where they're just getting remarketing. So, yeah.
So it's very stealthy. As soon as they unsubscribe, then they get targeted another way. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, I have something very close to that set up between Zapier, FollowUp Boss, and StreetText. Yeah.
Just to piggyback on that too, that's why we don't, we never delete the leads, right? I know a lot of people like to do that, but I wouldn't. You just don't know when that lead that you've paid for at some point, maybe 2 years or 3 years down the road or 4 years down the road, is going to do something if they're seeing your content. So I completely agree. Don't delete them if they've unsubscribed. They just may not be interested now, but in a year and a half, that can be a very different story.
Yeah.
Sometimes
And
people are-
sometimes they're frustrated because it's Monday morning and they have all these, crappy emails coming through. So they're like, unsubscribe, you know what I mean? But maybe it's just the timing, but yeah, definitely stay in front of them as an audience. Like, you don't even need to zap them back in here. They're already here. They're already in your email database. They're already an audience. So just keep staying in front of them. So
As an extension of that, Wendy, you're so good at marketing. I know that sometimes people that I've marketed to don't like to be marketed to until they've realized that they need to do something, and then suddenly you're the go-to person. But if they've deleted themselves or unsubscribed, then it's harder to reach them, and they may forget who you are in that interim. So anyway, by keeping top of mind in another way, I think that's a great trick. Okay, I'll be quiet now.
No, that's good. So obviously I've touched on a couple of things. I see some hands raised, so we'll stay on this for a second. So Divana, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Could you review again how you made that particular list, how you segment out the list? Is it through tags, or the first part I missed? I was waiting to get in and I didn't.
Sure. Yeah. I'll just quickly show that right now. So
Okay.
when you're creating one of these lists on the side, again, I have many, which is a bit strange because I only have one lead in here, and that's because this is a test account. So I'm often deleting things and we're testing stuff. But what you would do here is that you can create a combination of things. So for instance, I was gonna wait for this to reload. So I could sort by tags. So for instance, this lead here has a downsize tag on it.
Okay.
So I could, contains, again, there's going to be so many, but there's
hey, at
there's
least you
downsides.
alphabetized it though. Remember when it wasn't?
That makes it a lot better. I could also segment down by, I only want people that have a downsize tag, but also are in the deal progress warm, right? So then I would just add another, I would go deal stage is, warm, for example. And then you can see here now I have these two different filters. And so when I go ahead and click show results, it's going to stay on this result. And if I had other leads, they're going to fit this criteria. Then I can go ahead and click save filter. And oops, I think I'm stuck here right now. But if I clicked, I haven't shown the result yet, so I can't save the filter. But if I click save the filter, because I got to do that first, then I would have the option to, actually, let me just do that. I'll just go through.
Save it as an audience.
Yeah, then I can save it as an audience. And so you can see there's the same lead there. Oh, interesting. I got stuck. I'm not sure why, but for some reason, it's not letting me do that.
So
it wants more than one person in your list.
Yeah. No, but it's funny because it was just there, but for some reason it's not there right now.
So Wendy, when you do luxury, so you would go to, that would be a tag luxury, and then you would go to the.
Yeah, I do deal stage because all of the stages for everybody that has came in through luxury, like for luxury homes, right? Or anybody in those 10 luxury neighborhoods, we have them all deal stage luxury. So we pull them all in and we save that and saved it as an audience. So now when I go and do my ad bundles for all my luxury videos that I did, right? That rotate daily. Yeah, so I can retarget everybody that has a deal stage luxury.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So that would be the second one over here, like deal stage, and then where it says
Warm.
And then
yeah,
it would just be luxury in that case.
Okay. Okay.
And then as soon as a lead fits that criteria, it'll be added in automatically, which is nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so anything new that comes in, we switch the stage to luxury if it comes from like luxury homes list or whatever, we switch it, and then that automatically adds into the retargeting because FollowUp Boss and StreetText are talking to each other. So there's really nothing I need to do.
Okay, so you're doing it in you have FollowUp Boss, but you're doing it in StreetText, right? And then
right. So I have FollowUp Boss. That's where I keep, the 86,000 leads. They're all in FollowUp Boss, right? Everybody's an audience, but I have a specific luxury audience that syncs to StreetText because I created one using these tags in stage, right? And so when I do my ad bundles, that's all through StreetText. All my ads I run are through StreetText.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
awesome.
Yeah, just to mention a bit more clarity on that too. Like if you do enable FollowUp Boss with StreetText, there's a lot more the features that get unlocked with that. And that's sort of what Wendy's doing because it's all in sync then. Crystal, you had your hand raised.
Hi, yes, thank you. So my question is similar to Deanna. So when the contact, so I don't have like that list of contact filters on the left screen like you do.
Oh, that's the only reason they're here is because I've saved the filter.
So you save the filter.
Yeah, so I could delete these and there'd be none. But if I went ahead, let me just refresh the screen for a second. If I went ahead and saved a filter, then it's going to show up on this left-hand side.
And the filters, how do you save filters?
So I like, for instance, if I was just searching for,
Tags.
you know, downsize, you know, and I was showing these results.
So that's through a tag and then
Yeah, in this case, I was doing it a tag, but you can do it as a
Yeah,
combination.
you can
of
do
a
a
lot of
tag, you can do a stage, you can do source, like you could do any of those things.
So if
Whatever-
I was
however you
to
wanna
save,
do.
if I save this one now, I you know, and then I click save as new, and this is the option to create it as an audience of Facebook. And there's another way to do it too, if you forget this, but if I click save as new, it's now going to save on this left-hand side. And what I will show you really quick, I'm just going to open up the settings here in another tab. So I went to this little gear icon on the top right. Here, there's a section called audiences. And if I go on filters on the top there, you see these are the same filters I have on the left-hand side. They're just sitting here. And now I have the ability to do a number of other things too. Like I could sync these if I didn't sync them to Facebook before. I could click this button and it would sync. I can also delete them. I could rename them. I could edit them, etc. And as long as they're being used in ads, they're synced all the time. If you're not using them for anything, our system just doesn't bother syncing them because, you know, it's a lot of work for the system. And I mean, on the Facebook part, but they're still in sync on the smart list. They're always in sync on the smart list. And as long as you're using them in an ad, they'll stay in sync with Facebook ongoing as well. So
And
hopefully
that's
that answers that.
add new ones too. You can add and create new tags there as well, or do you have to create the tag in your ad?
Oh, no, you can add tags here. Yeah. And then as the tags get added, like I could even add another tag right now. If I wanted, for instance, to the specific lead, if you will. And then once it's here, it's not going to show me on that filter anymore. So I'm just going to refresh. But once that tag is there, you can see it now. I have those two tags. Now, if I was filtering and I had that tag included, it's only going to show it in that list.
But you have to create the tag first before you can add it. And that would be through.
Yeah, you would create the tag first. And most of the time you're going to be, you're going to have a workflow. So you're going to, you might, for instance, have seller tags or buyer tags, or maybe a zip code or postal code tag or something. And then you're creating these filters based on that. And then as soon as people meet that criteria, they'll be in that list.
You create the filter, then so where do you create the tag, I guess? Is it in the ad or is it where you were just in those filters?
Well, you can always create tags here. So you can see here, I can select the tag. Maybe I can't. I'm not sure if I can actually create it.
Crystal, you're synced to FollowUp Boss. So it's going to pull all the tags that you have in FollowUp Boss. So you can
do it all
use
in
one of
FollowUp
those, or you can do the tagging in FollowUp Boss. It's going to sync together.
Okay, I was just wondering, where do you create the new tag if you want to create a new one? Like for luxury, I don't have a luxury one. So if I want to create one.
Right. So
where would I
in
start?
FollowUp Boss, you just type in luxury in the tags and then start tagging your stuff luxury, or you can change the stage to luxury. Like,
So start it in FollowUp Box, not in StreetText. Okay.
well, yeah, because you're working in FollowUp Boss every day, right? That's your CRM.
Well,
okay.
I'm working on it.
Anyway, so you should know who is luxury, right? So add those tags in, and then eventually they'll all be here. And when you create the list, the filter, that will create, you'll create your
Some of
audience.
my leads come through here though, so I was wondering if I could, it's luxury or whatever
Oh,
it
you
is.
can. You can
Yes.
always create a tag also with the ad and the automation. So for instance, when the lead comes in, you can automatically tag them as many tags as you want in that process as well.
Create the new ones in the ad. That's where
So if you want them just to be there right from the get-go, as soon as the lead comes in, you can do
Okay.
that as well. Yes.
All right, that makes sense. Thank you.
And you can do that two different ways, right? Like you can do it either when you're creating the ad, at the end there's a spot to add tags, or you can always go to your ad. Like in this case here, let's say I'm going to click on this one because this won't have anything. If I click on edit automation, and then I'm going to go here and I'm going to click add action. I could now add a tag, and I could either create a new tag or I could use one of my existing tags. And then if I add that event, now as soon as the lead hits, in this stage, the only thing it's going to be adding an open house tag and a today tag, for example. But you can do all of that there as well.
Okay.
So we'll keep going. I got a few more things to show you, but this is obviously a good topic.
Okay, Johns, hold on.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I have time.
I'll be
Are you
quick.
sure? Okay.
Oh yeah.
I think I understand it. So just because I'm syncing with FollowUp Boss, when I want to create a list, I don't need to put it in a CSV file. I just need to say, grab my tags that say past clients, bring them in to StreetText, then I can create a list.
No. You already, if you have FollowUp Boss, you just need to be connected.
It is.
Okay, so you don't even have to do that. So in StreetText, yes, you can go past clients,
Got
list,
it.
filter, save. You don't need to bring them
Oh,
in.
so they're already in there.
They're already there.
That's the really
Perfect.
cool thing, John, is that if you sync with FollowUp, everything like Wendy said is here. And if it's not here for some reason, if you just go to the integrations page, you can click the sync all leads to StreetText button, and this will make sure that everything is in sync with, and then just also make sure that these two first ones are on as well, because that will make sure that anything outgoing or incoming from wherever it is will be in sync with StreetText.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, next, John.
Next
Next,
one.
John. Just a little bit off topic, only a little bit off topic. Is there any progress that you're aware of in getting integration with Lofty?
I don't have a whole lot to report on that right now. You'll have to ask Troy on our product side.
Okay.
There will be an integration with Lofty. There will be. I think what we've been doing, a lot of the work we've been doing has been a FollowUp Boss to really prove out exactly what it can be with every other CRM. And so, yeah, but it is coming. It'll be there. I just don't have any updates for you, unfortunately, at this time.
Oh, darn. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Okay. So, no other questions? We'll keep moving on. So a couple other things that you can do too, which I may not actually. Oh, actually, I can show you here. So you also can sync this with the deal progress. So, for example, if you want to, you can actually build out, like, again, this is more if you're using it as a standalone CRM and you're not using a tool like FollowUp Boss. You can actually create your own stages here that you want as a deal progress, and you can edit these by clicking. I'll just open this in a new window here. You can edit these by opening this up, and you can actually create your stages. You can set the colors. You can even reorder them if you want, and you'll even be able to see them like in a pipeline view. So you can drag the leads like this. Again, this is more used if you're not using FollowUp Boss and you were just sort of using this view. If you're using FollowUp Boss, I know I'm going fast here. At the very bottom, you can see this. You can actually, there'll be import pipeline. If you click this primary pipeline and you select this button, the stages under deal progress won't be these. They'll actually mirror everything you have in FollowUp Boss. And that's also really nice because then if a deal stage is changing in FOB, it'll change here. And if you change it here to whatever that deal stage is, in fact, maybe I'll just go ahead and just do it. If you do that, then going forward, yeah, it's all in sync. So just wanted to kind of point that out as well if you're using FollowUp Boss. So you can see here now, these are all the stages I have in FUB. They've changed to these. And so if I change this now, they're going to be in sync with FUB. A couple more things. If you open up the contact itself, as Wendy pointed out, you can... Actually, I'll just point one more thing here on the right-hand side. If you have HomeBot integrated, you can always send your seller leads over to HomeBot by clicking this little add button. I don't have it integrated here, but if you did, you can select that. That's a great way if you are nurturing stuff in HomeBot, you can easily fire it over as long as it has an address, and you get to do them by choice, right? So you're like, oh, I don't want this lead to go over, but I want the next lead to go over. You can select that. In here, as Wendy pointed out, you can add notes if you want. So you could write some notes out. You can save those. Obviously, you can edit and change the tags.
Hey,
You can also, oh, go ahead.
Are you going to add Fellow into that integration?
So we had a meeting with Fellow actually, and so there's some work they actually did for us already that we're gonna be testing out using the landing pages, and so it's early in the journey. They don't have an open API yet that we have access to, but I think in time we'll be more integrated with them. Yes, as well. So
can you email a client from here?
You can, but I don't even really know how because I never do it. I know you can. I also know you can click these little buttons.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Is that
These will open up.
email?
These will open up your Gmail or oh, I think that might even just email. I never do it from in here at this part.
I know.
I know if you click, for instance, the text button, it'll start if there is a text sequence, which I won't have with this lead. But if I did, you'd see that conversation here. Again, it's not the most elegant CRM, but it will, like I don't know what these ones will do. If I click, I think this will open
click Gmail. Does it automatically pop in their email maybe?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's starting.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's starting it to that lead that I had in here.
Okay. Okay, that works. That works.
Yeah, so it'll get the process started. And the nice thing is that even if you did that from here and you're connected to another CRM, when they respond, it'll pop up in that CRM too, which is good. But yeah, I was going to point out just a couple more minor things here, not to lose you in all these, but you can create reminders for the leads. You can also create tasks. So if you do have a task, you can actually create a task, a to-do task. It'll show up on your dashboard.
So Google Calendar, you can add it to your Google.
Yeah, you can add it to your Google Calendar. So there is all of that. If you wanted to, again, this is for people that are using it primarily as a CRM and don't. If you have something like FollowUp Boss or some other like Lofty, you're not going to use these because you already have all of that over there. So you won't need it. But you can, again, same sort of thing. You can track your deal stages. Deal stage tracking is actually important. I don't think we'll have time to go into all today, but you can actually send data back to Facebook, which is really important. So we'll do a whole session on that another time because it can help optimize the leads that you find in the future. And you do that by sending these to Meta, but we'll do that on another day because I won't have time to go into it now. You can add custom fields if you needed to, and you can also, of course, even you can actually start automations from a lead. Like let's say you've built it on automation StreetText. So again, you're not using another CRM. You can actually add these leads to one of your existing automations that you built up for another ad. I won't really go into it today, but you could add them, and in that way, this lead can then go into some sort of nurture that you've built.
Oh, that's cool. So like if you get a seller lead, but it's not through the home valuation, you can add that funnel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I like
we
that.
use something called entry points, and all an entry point is that you can actually pick where in the automation you want them to go. So for instance, if you can use an existing automation and you can actually have them start in the middle of that automation too. So it's a little bit more of an advanced feature that we could cover in another class, but if you wanted to, I could show you how to use that, and then you can have leads get redirected. Maybe you want them to go into 3 months down in an automation that's already existing, for example. But again, if you're using another CRM, you're probably largely going to be doing that elsewhere.
Right. That's
all right. Well, that's more or less like I can open it back up to questions. Those are the CRM features that we have.
Google at the top, is that like finding them on social media?
Yeah. So if I click this here, I can add in, say you find them on Facebook and you save their social link here, like you find them and you put the URL, you click save. Whenever you click this, then it'll take you right to where they are on Facebook, which is nice. This will search on Facebook. So if I'm searching that lead and I'm trying to figure out who they are, look,
there you are.
Find me. So that's a quick way. If you're trying to find who that lead might be, you can click this button to find them. Same sort of thing. You can search them on StreetText here. Or sorry, again, it's using like a Hotmail. It's using a Hotmail address, not my StreetText address, but it's trying to find this lead there. If you click on, and then the email buttons, there's obviously a call, text, create notes, set reminders, that kind of thing.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Christian.
What's up, Wendy? I had a quick question for you. So I signed up for FollowUp Boss, but I'm also using Go High Level. Do you do something similar where it's just automatically connected with StreetText, but then pushes into Go High Level?
I don't use high level.
No? Okay.
No,
So
no,
you-
that's
so
I think a
Boss?
Chase thing, right? Chase's tech stack is high. Is it high
No,
level?
no, he's Fub too.
Oh wait, well, who's
That's
the
more
girl?
like Krista Mishra stuff.
Okay, yeah, I don't use it, so I use FollowUp Boss, KV Core, and StreetText.
Gotcha. And KV Core is like your agent fire, as if like your IDX list
Mhm.
all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then
So,
are you-
and I have the StreetText leads that come in, they go into KV Core and FollowUp Boss at the same time. So that I can do what I'm gonna do in FollowUp Boss, and then I can easily set them up on a search, set them up on a market report, like right through KV Core.
Gotcha.
So,
That's what I'm working through right now, connecting agent fire to where it's like fires off at the same time, and then real scout. So
yeah, just have StreetText send the leads to all the platforms. That way you're not manually entering anything, because if you have to manually enter it, it won't get done.
that's annoying. And then I love how FollowUp Boss just tracks everything that it does on all the things. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Couple more things I'll point out on that too. If we actually have a new feature that nobody knows about yet, but if you're running ads on StreetText and you're running seller ones where you get address only leads, you can actually now enable this and you can send address only leads over to FUB as well. And this is great if you wanted to, for instance, like use some sort of like data enrichment tool or whatever on that side to kind of figure out who they are, or maybe you want to do something with that lead. Previously, it was stuck in StreetText. Now I can go over. And then you also, for those of you that use the inbox or texting, you can also, if you enable this, any text conversation that comes in StreetText will actually live in FUB. It'll live here too, but you can see it automatically show up in your inbox section in FUB, which is really cool.
Yeah, and you can reply through FUB.
Yeah, and if you want, we also have this neat feature that's enabled where if the one thing that FollowUp Boss doesn't do is it doesn't allow you to nurture with text messages. Like you can send manual messages and a one-off message, but you can't create a sequence of text in FollowUp Boss. You can't, no, but you don't need texting Betty anymore. You can with this. So with
you don't
this,
need texting Betty.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
so if you enable this, and even if you've built everything in Texting Betty, it'll automatically work. And you even have options to like change the syntax on it a little bit. I won't go in. I don't have this enabled right now. But if I did, I would show you. You can even change how the brackets work with the notes. But this works identical to a Texting Betty as an example.
That's awesome, because honestly, the reason why I was using Go High Level was because it has the automated text that you could set out for 3 years at no additional cost. So that's like awesome.
Yep. So you can do all that now through this feature as well. And it's included.
Cool. And then just a follow-up question to that. If I have like, so, you know, a lot of us are Mayshore Method or Krista trained. If we ever own lead magnets, like our guides, our flip books and stuff, like, is there a way to like, how do we plug those in? Like so it's not just like generic content we're sending them to.
Yeah, so we're doing some big work on that because we realized that you're all using different tools that you would want to run your own landing pages on. So there is a lot of work underway to tie those into the ads. The tricky part for us has always been able to get like really good data back so we can show you which leads are coming in and if the ad's actually performing. And so there's a lot of work on that underway.
Right, and you can run a traffic ad to those. And you would want to do a traffic ad because I know Krista Mayshore funnels all have put your information in here, right? So if you run it through a good ad that StreetText going to grab that lead information, they will stop and not go anywhere through the funnel because they'll have to give their stuff again. And that's when they're like, no. So you can run a traffic, you're just not going to be able to see the leads in StreetText, but you'll see that it reached 48,000 people. You know, so
that is the good workaround right now. You just won't get the data back, but exactly what Wendy says, you can still run your own stuff on those.
Yeah, because
I ran into that.
Yeah, that's good.
I ran into that problem with the fellow.
Yeah, I have all these different landing pages like seller guides, home value that I have through with Go High Level through Mayshore Method, and it's like now, but I want to run traffic to them. But I already have the automations all set up, the lead magnets, everything on the back end of Mayshore Method. So I guess that would just be my workaround.
Yeah, you just run a traffic ad through here, pointing people to that, you know, and they'll go directly to that without asking them for any information. But then when they start clicking through your funnel, that's when they'll add your information and it'll go into your CRM.
Yep. It's a little bit more work on the data side, but it'll still work. That's good.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
We got
Oh,
the
you're
Johns in the room again.
Isn't that interesting?
We'll do maybe John and Claire. We'll start with you, and then we'll do the other.
Okay, so in the various things that you're mentioning now that you've gone over, do you have an index to training in the different videos that you've got behind the scenes in StreetText? So that, we know that if I spend 10 or 15 minutes on this, I'm going to learn that, et cetera.
Well, we definitely can make more if you don't see something that you're looking for. Our team can make them quite quickly if you're looking to do something. But normally I would go to the help.StreetText, and typically everything's in here for the most part. But if we don't have an article in here and you want to see how to make it, we use those prompts and we have a team that'll just create stuff pretty quick on that. So I would go here to this link. If you can't find a video that you're looking for, that you need, you can search, obviously, here if you're looking for something. But if you can't find it, let us know using that little icon, that's in your account, that little icon on the bottom right there to start a chat, and we can create something for you.
And what would be like a realistic turnaround time? Would that be later today, tomorrow, next week?
I would say give it a week, but it'll come faster than a week.
Okay.
So it can take a little bit of time if we truly don't have anything, just based on what we're working on. But normally it's pretty quick to get an article updated and put in here for you.
And then the new features that you've just introduced, do you have documentation on that yet?
Oh, it depends which one. So on the schedule conversations, yes, you'll actually find that right here. Sessions. If I can find it here really quick. So this is the schedule conversation. So you can see if this is a little weird to you, it's how Texting Betty works too. You get to set these different times. If you want training on this, we have a whole thing coming out. We just haven't officially released it. So that's why it's going to be a little bit more hidden behind the scenes. And then the address only one we haven't announced to anybody yet. So that info is coming as well.
Right. And then recently, so this may be beta or I don't know what, but there was something about a AI sort of self-regenerating thing going on with the ads to optimize them.
Yeah, it just hasn't left beta yet, but it's going to leave very, very soon. It's right on the finish line, and it's working, I think, quite well. So you'll be hearing a lot more about that in the coming days here. It took us a little longer to get it right, but
I understand. That's good. Good. Thank you.
Welcome. All right, other John.
So real quick, I had a question on the scheduled conversations. Is that going to be covered more detail with the 9 o'clock Elena Keys webinar?
Yeah, so she gets kind of first dibs on the sort of announcement on it. So yeah, that webinar that we're doing with her is where we're going to be officially sort of kind of announcing it and releasing it with her.
Okay.
So yes, if you attend that, you're going to see more details on this.
Is there a link for that, or is that something separate?
There is a link for it. I'd have to get it. If you want to send me an email, I'll have to go find it. But there is one. I'll put my email in the chat here quick too.
It might be an insider group too, though, right?
Yeah, it might be. I actually don't know if I put it in there yet. I should. I normally do things last minute on those, so you might see it last minute in the insider group too.
Thanks.
Okay.
I just posted that link for Elena's.
Oh, thank you. I don't see it. Maybe you posted it.
Where did you put it?
In
You
chat.
might have sent it just to somebody. Sometimes Zoom can be like that.
It's too long. It says your message is too long. Try sending multiple. It's just a link.
John Shannon, you have a question?
It's interesting. If I unmute myself, it lowers my hand. That's crazy. So yeah, so given that I have a CSV file of unsubscribed, and I have linked between StreetText and FollowUp Boss, what's the process? Should I bring that CSV file into FollowUp Boss and let it sync with StreetText, or the other way around?
So you have, so these leads do not exist in any of those
They're
two
not in your
CRMs?
FollowUp Boss?
They're actually not, because I never put them in my FollowUp Boss because they were from a MailChimp. And then I started FollowUp Boss and I just didn't move them over there because I was a little scared of doing something with these people when they were unsubscribed. But now I'm less concerned about that because
If you have the two synced, I would actually just do the import on FollowUp Boss because you'll have a few more options of where you want them to live on your CRM side. And as soon as you incorporate and add them, they'll come over to StreetText. And as long as you tag them when you bring them in or somewhere to identify, that these are people for this purpose, then you'll find them on the StreetText side.
Unsubscribed.
Yeah, exactly.
Previously unsubscribed.
Because the thing is if you bring them into StreetText on a CSV file, they're automatically going to go into FollowUp Boss anyway. They're synced together. Like, so whatever you do in StreetText happens in FollowUp Boss. Whatever you do in FollowUp Boss happens in StreetText.
Right, but yes, that sometimes there's ways that you can label these things in slightly different ways depending on how they come in. So, Stephen, maybe I think you described it's better to bring them in.
It's a very similar process. But if it was me, if I was primarily working out of FUB as my CRM, I'd probably just do it there because you're gonna end up wanting to put it in a stage or a tag or something there. But to Wendy's point, you could really do it either way.
Yeah, I'm learning both these at the same time. So
I see. Okay.
I'm not yet proficient in anything here. So there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Real quick, I just uploaded that link for Elena Keys.
Thanks, John.
I see it. Thank you. Awesome. I have a question. When you do sync the address onlys, does it go all the way back and bring in all the address onlys or just moving forward?
I think it's a moving forward thing. That would be a question for Troy. When we'll have some more documentation on it, but I believe it's moving forward.
Yeah, because Fellow's doing that enrichment on our stuff. So that would be kind of cool to get some info and bring in.
And there's a lot of address onlys, right? There's just so many of them.
There is a lot.
No.
There is a lot. I don't even know how many, but yeah, we don't have them automatically going in. So interesting. Awesome. Well, does anybody else have any questions about StreetText or CRMs or pretty much anything? No? Okay, so I have an announcement. Thank you, Stephen. That was beautiful. My friend Chris Harden, which you guys all know Chris Harden, asked me to spread the word about this SEO challenge. It's a 7-day SEO challenge with 10,000 in prizes starting August 1st. So I'm just going to drop the link in there. You can click on it, check it out, and fill out the form, whatever. But anyway, he's helping people get better optimization on their websites and stand out above the crowd, all the good stuff that we are all trying to do. When you have 20,000 realtors in your area, SEO really helps.
Yeah.
So anyway, that'll be fun. So check it out. And then let him know if you have any questions, because I don't have the answers to that. Also, I'm not sure if you guys are diving into the commit or quit accountability calls, but if you aren't, you really should. I know a lot of people here have already been saying that it's kind of life-changing because you're actually getting the things done and you're learning about what other agents are working on, right? So that gives you ideas. We have 5 different times. Go look in the group. It is posted there. And the link is commitorquitzoom.com. And that'll get you in on any of those times. And I have all the different time zones there too, to help everybody figure it out. Yes, I did the math for you. Anyway, so hopefully I see you guys on one of those calls because they're really good. They're really good. And sometimes if we have a little bit of time at the end, we have a little mini mastermind. So could you imagine having a little mini mastermind about cool things that you can learn? So hop in there. And if you have any questions about it, let me know. And this was pretty awesome. And like I said, StreetText is just amazing. I don't use it as a CRM, but it is truly amazing on running ads for everything. Someone was asking me yesterday, well, do you do this in Ads Manager and then this in StreetText? Or which part do you do in StreetText? I do all of it in StreetText. Like I run all my reach ads in StreetText, all my listing ads in StreetText, all my list of homes in StreetText, right? All of my retargeting in StreetText, and I talk to different people because you can put them in different groups, right? Because all the audiences are already set up. They're pulling from your CRM or you're setting them up, right? And then the ad bundles. I do it all right there. I never have to go to Ads Manager unless someone's in my Tech Tuesday VIP that doesn't have StreetText that makes me go into Ads Manager, and trust me, tell me, I'm trying to not split my wrist. I don't like it. There's so many problems. Maria. Yeah, okay, so she was one of them talking about Ads Manager and how she's in trouble in there. I don't even know why you're in trouble, but Facebook, you're in trouble about everything, right? Like right now I'm in link jail. They won't let me post links anywhere.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for encouragement. So I have no idea why they flagged me, and my account is restricted. I've been running ads for over a year, so it's not like I don't know what I'm doing once I'm in the ads manager. For some reason, I just decided I'm going to use another service doing the things for me, as we all want to focus on our business, not on the day-to-day tasks. We want to be more productive in what we do best. So I was outsourcing to other people, and I do believe they screw it up for me. So now my account, all my accounts, the personal account and the business account with Facebook, is restricted of doing any ads. Fun fact.
So lesson learned. StreetText also has an amazing do it for you system. Logan works people's ads all the time, and he's getting people better conversion. He's the one sitting there watching the ads, right? We shouldn't be watching the ads. We should be out selling houses.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what was my idea when I hired.
Yeah. So hop that idea over to StreetText and let them help you with that, because
I'm
terrible.
already on board with StreetText. That's a done deal. So my question to Stephen was, could you show one more time where to import a list of contacts? I have a specific niche that I'm actively pursuing, and I want to import. My title companies are giving me these lists, so I want to import that and start marketing with a video, a specific video into which I'm speaking directly to that niche. Could you show it one more time? How do I import this list of contacts, of leads, and the way I tag them, so I don't get confused if some leads comes from my home value ad to be mixed with that list ad?
You bet.
Steven?
I wish I had a file that I could quickly upload for you. I'd have to create something. But if you click on this import leads from CSV, so you're on your contact section in StreetText, you click on this import leads from CSV, and then you would just select the file here that you'd basically be pulling in. And in this case, because it's a title company sending you information, you would leave this unchecked, and then you would go ahead and click next. But we will also have info on this. Like if we went back to that help.StreetText, there's gonna be something on the import leads, how to import a CSV file. So this is all gonna kind of walk you through how all of that works as well. So I can share this link quickly in
Perfect. That's what people need. The how-to videos.
The help.StreetText is only ever expanding, and it's just going to get better and better, and especially if you're asking for more things. And so, and we are reviewing these articles for outdated things or changes and whatnot all the time now. So if there's anything that you see that's off, just let us know. And but I would definitely start your search. Some good stuff in here.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
John and Claire, you got one more question? You were muted.
Thank you. Yeah, probably similar to this, but so in the past, I've uploaded a list into StreetText for retargeting, which was originally on a list in Ad Manager. And that is just redoing the list the best way to update it?
Redoing what list?
So let's say 6 months ago, I took an audience that's in a different account in Facebook on Ad Manager, and I imported it into StreetText for retargeting. And now over the last 6 months, there's more people in the audience on the Ad Manager version, and I want to get them into StreetText as well.
How is yeah.
It depends. Are they a contact in your CRM, or are you talking about a Facebook audience or an
No, I'm talking
Instagram
about
audience or a
Facebook.
website audience?
So I've got two accounts, account A, account B in Ad Manager. Account A is StreetText, account B is Krista Mayshore. I was using Krista Mayshore for about 1.5 years, putting ads directly into Ad Manager, creating audiences based on those ads. So now I've got Facebook audiences of X number of thousand in the KMC account. And about 6 months ago, I put them into StreetText. But that was 6 months ago, and now I need to update from the KMC audience into the audience that I built in StreetText. Maybe I should just call in and get a time.
John, why don't you hop into VIP in 2 minutes and I'll help you.
Okay.
All right. If anybody else wants help pushing the buttons, hop into the VIP group. There should be some link there to join in the chat. So thank you guys. Sorry, Stephen. I know, I love Q&A. Q&A is amazing. But anyway, have an amazing day. Next week, we're talking about Follow CRM, and then we'll be done with CRMs. But I think it's a good month, and I think we covered a lot. Hopefully you guys have learned a lot as to what to do in each one. So anyway, have an amazing day. Thank you for coming. See you in the VIP.